He didn't have any brothers or sisters. He didn't like it there. He didn't study very much. He didn't get his license to kill until 1950. He wasn't a very good student. He wasn't married for long.
Recording 7.2.
Good afternoon and welcome to On the Page. Today's first guest is writer Will Forbes.
Hello.
Now, Will, you're the author of a new book about Ian Fleming, the man who wrote the James Bond books.
Yes, that's right.
We all know about James Bond, of course, but what can you tell us about Ian Fleming?
Well, what's interesting is that Ian Fleming's life was quite similar to James Bond's.
Really?
Recording 7.3. 1.
Did Ian Fleming work for the British Secret Service too?
2.
Did Fleming have a license to kill?
3.
Did he work for the Secret Service after the war?
4.
Did Fleming and Bond go to the same school?
5.
When did Ian Fleming write the first Bond book?
6.
Did he make a lot of money?
Recording 7.4.
Good afternoon and welcome to On the Page. Today's first guest is writer Will Forbes.
Hello.
Now, Will, you're the author of a new book about Ian Fleming, the man who wrote the James Bond books.
Yes, that's right.
We all know about James Bond, of course, but what can you tell us about Ian Fleming?
Well, what's interesting is that Ian Fleming's life was quite similar to James Bond's.
Really? Did Ian Fleming work for the British Secret Service too?
Yes, he did. He joined the Navy as an intelligence officer in 1939. Bond was also in the Navy, of course.
Did Fleming have a license to kill? 006, maybe?
No, he didn't. But his job was very important.
Did he work for the Secret Service after the war?
No, he worked for a newspaper as a journalist, and then he became a writer.
And what about his early life? Did Fleming and Bond go to the same school?
Yes, they did, actually. They both went to Eton and were both very good at sports.
So Ian Fleming was James Bond?
Yes, in a way.
When did Ian Fleming write the first Bond book?
He wrote Casino Royale, the first Bond book, in 1952.
Did he make a lot of money?
No, he didn't. He died in 1964, only 2 years after the first Bond film.
Well, thank you for coming to talk to us, Will. That was Will Forbes, whose new book, The Man Behind Bond, is now on sale in all good bookshops.
Recording 7.5.
Did you go to the cinema last week? Did you see a Bond film last year?
Did you watch a film on TV last weekend? Did you want to be an actor when you were a child?
Yes, I did.
No, I didn't.
Recording 7.6. 1.
In Casablanca, MCs get trucked like Tonka. 007 with an exploded rocket launcher. Explorer on an expedition, riding a Bronca.
2.
Oh,
3. Four.
Che mai sento e tacevi imposto ora va
5. Six. Seven. 8. 9. 7.7.
Hey, do you want to do this quiz? It's called Are You a Musical Genius?
Yes, OK. Read me the questions.
Right. The first one. When did Madonna make her first record? Was it in the 70s, the 80s, or the 90s?
The 70s, I think. About 1979?
Correct! Number 2. Where do U2 come from?
Oh, that's easy. They're from Ireland.
Yes, that's right. Question 3. What did Sting do before he became a singer? Was he a teacher, a writer, or an actor?
An actor?
No, sorry. He was a teacher. The next one's easy, though. Which of these instruments does Elton John play?
The piano.
Correct. Number 5. How long were the Beatles together? Was it for 5, 10, or 15 years?
Let me think. 15 years?
No, only 10 years, from 1960 to 1970. Right, the next one. How old was Colombian singer Shakira when she released her first album, Magic? Was she 13, 17, or 22?
I've got no idea, but my guess is 13.
Yes, that's right. Well done. Number 7. Who was the first singer to have a #1 album and film in the USA at the same time? Was it Eminem, Jennifer Lopez, or David Bowie?
I don't know. David Bowie?
No, it was Jennifer Lopez in 2001. The film was called The Wedding Planner, and the album was J-Lo. Next one. How many people were in the Swedish group ABBA?
4. 2 women and 2 men.
Correct. Whose real name is, or was, Farouk Bulsara? Was it A. George Michael, B. Bob Dylan, or C. Freddie Mercury?
Well, I know it's not Bob Dylan. Was it George Michael?
No, it was Freddie Mercury. Right, the last question. Why didn't Elvis Presley make any records between 1958 and 1960?
I know this. He was in the army.
Correct. So your final score is 6 out of 10. Sorry.
Why?
Well, I got 10 out of 10.
I don't believe you.
I did. Look.
Recording 7.8.
It's 1 o'clock and here's Teresa Ross with the news.
Over 100 people died in a plane crash in China last night. The plane was on its way to Thailand, but crashed only minutes after it left the airport. Terry and Carla Ellis, who want to become the first British husband and wife to climb Mount Everest, are missing only 3 days after they started their climb. Helicopters are now looking for the 2 climbers. In India, there are floods in many parts of the country after 5 days of heavy rain. Yesterday, 32 people died in floods near Calcutta. And finally, supermarket manager Joe Hall won over £13 million in last night's lottery, thanks to his dog. Joe told reporters today that his dog Max chose the numbers. That's the news this Thursday lunchtime, and now over to Wendy Simmons for the travel news.
Recording 7.9.
Find, found. Take, took. Say, said. Fall, fell. Break, broke. Lose, lost. Choose, chose. Win, won. Put, put. Tell, told.
Recording 7.10. Conversation 1.
Did you read about the man who won this week's lottery?
No. How much did he win?
Over £13 million.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that's not the best bit. His dog chose the numbers for him.
You're joking.
Yes, apparently he wrote the numbers on envelopes and laid them...
Conversation 2.
Have you got family in India?
Yes, why?
Did you hear about the floods?
Oh, yes, isn't it awful? I saw it on the news last night.
Is your family all right?
Yes, they're fine. They don't live in that part of India.
Conversation 3.
Did you hear about that plane crash?
No, where was it?
Somewhere in China. Over 100 people died.
Oh, no, that's terrible.
Yes, I know. I've got a friend who works in China, and she says that nearly...
Conversation 4.
Did you read about the couple on Everest?
No. What happened?
One of them fell, and they lost their radio.
Oh, dear. Are they okay?
Yes, a helicopter found them yesterday.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, the husband broke his leg.
Recording 7.11.
Did you hear about that plane crash?
No, where was it?
Did you read about the couple on Everest?
No, what happened? Oh, that's good.
Yes, isn't it awful?
Oh, dear. Are they okay?
Oh, no, that's terrible.
Really? You're joking.
Recording 7.12.
Do you know any good jokes?
No, but Tom's good at telling jokes.
OK, Tom, tell us a joke.
OK, let me think. Right, here's one. One day, Mike went to the cinema to see a film. He bought a drink and an ice cream. Then he sat in the front row of the cinema and waited for the film to start. A few minutes later, an old man in a long coat came and sat near him. The old man had a big black dog, and the dog sat on the floor by the man's feet. When the film started, Mike saw that the dog was very interested in the film. When something funny happened, the dog laughed and laughed. When a person in the film died or something bad happened, the dog cried and cried. This happened all the way through the film. At the end of the film, Mike went to talk to the old man. "That was amazing," said Mike. "Your dog really loved the film." The old man looked at him and said, "Yes, it was amazing. He hated the book." Oh.